Okay, so it's actually been a pretty eventful week. Maybe not for Nintendo itself, but a lot of third-party stuff. Of course, on Sunday we had the Xbox and Bethesda game showcase, where we actually saw a lot of stuff that does pertain to Nintendo, as well as a lot of Nintendo rumors and leaks that we will be getting into. I'll have timestamps. You can skip that stuff if you want to, but I will be talking about it. Now, before we get into the news, I do want to mention on Tuesday, or I guess Wednesday actually, I posted a pickups video. Go check out that. Go support the extra content, as well as a video on, it was on Tuesday, talking about the Fire Emblem and Nintendo Direct rumors, which have all kind of been blown out of proportion now. There's way more information that we're going to get into. So I guess that video is kind of outdated, but I did talk about it. If you want more kind of context on that, go watch that. But all right, starting off with our first news story, Switch has been updated to firmware 14.1.2. So if you haven't downloaded the update, make sure you do so. If you want that sweet stability goodness. Otherwise, there's no new changes here. Although they did add a new censored word, a misspelled version of Adolf Hitler's name. Adolf Hitler was added to the bad words. Kind of weird, but cool. Good change, Nintendo. All right, interjecting here with a quick little news update. Nintendo just announced this. Pokemon Snap is coming to the Nintendo Switch Online on June 24th. Of course, this is the last currently announced Nintendo 64 game for Switch Online, so hopefully we'll get that direct on June 29th that we're about to talk about, and we'll see some more N64 love or maybe even GBA games. So I just wanted to throw it in here so I'm not a week late on this news. Pokemon Snap, June 24th. Cool to see. All right, now we're just going to go and get this out of the way, rumors and leaks. So we're going to start with the rumor for a Nintendo Direct happening evidently on June 29th. So once again, I'm reading from Go Nintendo here. I source all my articles from them. Go check them out. While June is typically the month where E3 takes place, there's no official E3 convention this year. That said, plenty of other game devs / publishers have been showcasing games via their own presentations or offering up reveals to various gaming outlets. And then it kind of goes on to read, that's Alana Pierce, former games journalist from IGN, Rooster Teeth, and Funhouse, and current game writer at Sony Santa Monica, interestingly, that she hosted a live stream today on her Twitch, kind of sharing her thoughts on the Xbox and Bethesda game showcase. After that, she was done talking. She was made a quick mention of other upcoming events, and that's where she actually noted that a Nintendo Direct was happening on June 29th. Now, obviously, she works at Sony. So you have to kind of assume maybe she would have some, ties and strings that could maybe, kind of help her know. She's an industry person. I mean, she's going to know this kind of stuff. Then people immediately started talking about it, and they asked for clarification, and then Alana Pierce just went on and was like, yeah, she double-checked and was like, yep, June 29th, that's what I've heard. And she was like, yeah, I guess this is a leak. And then later on from that, a ton of outlets started kind of corroborating the report. IGN, VGC, Video Games Chronicle, of course, Game Explain. So a lot of people are saying that June 29th is the date we are getting our big kind of E3-sized Nintendo Direct. Now, we'll have to wait and see if that's the case. Will we get Treehouse with that? Will it even happen? Then we'll see. But it seems as though maybe that's our best bet for a date, especially with all the other kind of outlets reporting that they have heard the same thing. And I think it kind of does make sense, especially... I mean, we've been saying this, Nintendo likes to be separate. They don't want to be with the other publishers. And there's still events going on. We just had the Final Fantasy VII event today that we'll talk about a little bit later, where they don't want to be rubbing up against their, on their toes. They want to just have their own time in the spotlight, and that'll be that. So, yeah, June 29th at the end of the month, outside of Summer Games Fest, essentially. By that point, all the events will be over with. That does make sense in that way. It really just gives them the spotlight. So that's the rumor for June 29th. And I think this next news story definitely maybe helps lead some credence to it. So this started off, and I made a video, like I mentioned on Tuesday, about this leaked Fire Emblem game. Emily Rogers, known Nintendo insider, as well as Nate Drake, detailed a bunch of information about the game. I'm not going to go into every single thing here, but it is a new game, not a remake. Collaboration, once again, between Intelligent Systems and Koei Tecmo, as well as Gust being the kind of developer of the Atelier series. They're doing the graphics for this new Fire Emblem game. Originally, the game was intended to release in 2020 or 2021 as part of the game's 30th anniversary, and that the game has actually been finished for over a year. That's part of the reporting, which is crazy, but Nintendo is not shy to doing that, so totally could be. And then Emily reported that the main character has strange red and blue hair, and the mother is a dragon. And then we'll get to that again in a second. And she also said new emblems gimmick allows players to summon Fire Emblem characters from the past. Or specifically, she later mentioned or specified lords from past Fire Emblem games. So past Fire Emblem main characters, basically. Then it just all started going crazy. So after Emily reported that, a user on Reddit by the name of Mia's Maldelta kind of actually just straight up showed screenshots of the game. They were waiting. According to them, they were waiting for someone else to report information on the game before they leaked it. They're saying this is from an early build. I don't know if I can put pictures up on screen. I don't know if Nintendo will come at me, but I'm going to do it anyway. So bam, yeah, we have pictures from this new Fire Emblem game. Originally, we just got these 4 images with the girl from Red and Blue hair, and people in forums started going crazy saying, is that the main protagonist from SMT5? Is this real? Is this fake? But then later on, that same user posted another picture of the main main protagonist of this Fire Emblem game, and I think it's all but confirmed. I think this is definitely real, and I think the fact that this is all leaking right now, when we normally would have gotten an E3 Direct, I think it's all too convenient. So I do think we are going to get a Nintendo Direct on June 29th, and this Fire Emblem, next mainline Fire Emblem game, Fire Emblem 18, as people like to call it by number for some stupid reason, I think this will be there, and it will probably come out this year. We have 3 Hopes coming out on June 24th, I believe, but they've done that before. They've released a Warriors game and a mainline game in the same year. They did it in 2017 with Echoes and the first Fire Emblem Warriors. I don't think it's a stretch to say they're going to do it again with this year with 3 Hopes and a new mainline Fire Emblem game in the fall, maybe October to December season. So yeah, we're going to keep an eye on this. It feels like stuff's leaking every day from Nintendo right now regarding Fire Emblem and a Nintendo Direct. This could end up being fake, I guess. It'd be a really impressive fake on the Fire Emblem end. But yeah, we'll see. And of course, once we do get more concrete information on that Nintendo Direct, it'll be posted here. All right, so we're finally out of the rumor territory, and we have some concrete information. This comes from Square Enix. They just hosted a Final Fantasy VII 25th anniversary event live stream where they detailed some mobile stuff. Of course, Final Fantasy VII Ever Crisis, as well as Soldier, whatever it's called, the Battle Royale game, some merch, and then 2 major announcements. Now, one of them was Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, the sequel to Final Fantasy VII Remake from 2020, which is not coming to Switch, so I'm not sure why I'm even talking about it. However, we did get a new game announced for the Switch at this event, as well as Xbox and PlayStation and everything else. Crisis Core Final Fantasy VII Reunion. So this is what Square Enix is calling a remaster of the PSP game Final Fantasy VII Crisis Core from 2007. They're using the word remaster, but if you look at the gameplay, it looks like a straight-up remake. I guess they've kind of muddled the wording with Final Fantasy VII Remake that came out in 2022, because that was more of a reimagining. If they called this a remake, people would get the wrong idea, but by my definition of remake, this is a straight remake. It's using models clearly from 7 Remake, and it just looks worlds better than it did on the PSP. I mean, this is a PSP game, and now it looks like a PS4 game. So this is coming out this winter. Awesome news. Hopefully this winter does mean this year. That'd be nice. November, December. That'd be nice. Or it could mean early 2023, I suppose, because that is when winter actually is. But you know how developers are. So yeah, Crisis Core Final Fantasy VII Reunion coming to the Switch later this year, hopefully. Really cool to see. This is our first semblance of actual modern Final Fantasy support on Nintendo Switch. I guess we had the Final Fantasy VIII remaster as well, but yeah, everywhere I was hoping that they were going to do Final Fantasy VII Remake ports on Xbox and Switch. Seemingly, Sony must have that locked down because Rebirth was also announced to be PS5 exclusive. So yeah, we'll see, but awesome to see Crisis Core coming to the Switch. All right, and then we had the Xbox and Bethesda's game showcase on Sunday. A lot of stuff pertaining to Nintendo here. I'm not going to cover every single little thing. However, Hollow Knight Silksong did get some new gameplay, and it will be launching day 1 on Game Pass for Xbox owners that are watching this. No concrete release information. However, after the presentation, Xbox released an image saying, hey, these are all games coming out within the next 12 months. And in that image was Hollow Knight Silksong. The trailer didn't mention any kind of date. However, that image says it is coming in the next 12 months. So maybe this will be a spring 2023 game. That'd be really nice. I know Nintendo Switch fans have been dying for this game. Hollow Knight fans have been yearning for it. I have not played Hollow Knight, so I'm not personally in that same camp. However, I know people are very excited for it. Also, that's coming day 1 to Game Pass also if you do have an Xbox. So, yeah, really cool to see Hollow Knight Silksong finally. I think that we haven't seen that for like 2 or 3 years. So, really cool to see. Next up in that same presentation, we got more information on Overwatch 2, which is coming to Switch. It releases on October 4th, 2022, and will be free to play. They also showed the new Junk Queen character. So if you're interested in Overwatch 2, that will be free to play starting in October. Pretty cool, I guess, if you're interested in Overwatch. I kind of fell off of it a few years ago. And by a few years ago, I mean 2016, when the game came out. I did not play it for too long. But then, once again, from the same Xbox and Bethesda Game Showcase, moving right along, we had Minecraft Legends announced. This is a new Minecraft game being developed by Mojang, or Mojang, however you want to say it. It's an action strategy game and is coming in 2023 to the Nintendo Switch, as well as everything else, obviously. I was kind of getting weird vibes from this. So it leaked beforehand that they were making a Minecraft RTS. And I guess, yes, it is a strategy game. I don't think I would describe this as an RTS from what I'm seeing. It kind of has like that Smash 3DS like outline look, and it looks more like an action game, where I guess, you know, you'll be building towns and stuff, like a you know, world building game kind of. But yeah, I'm curious to see more of this. Minecraft spin-offs are definitely something I'm open to, because we really don't have that many considering the success of the franchise, and it is a franchise at this point. So yeah, Minecraft Legends coming to Switch in 2023, pretty interesting. And that was actually it from the Xbox and Bethesda Game Showcase. However, there is something else we'll get to a little bit later that isn't technically Nintendo news, but I do want to talk about it. However, there was something else Xbox kind of related, adjacent, that I wanted to mention. FPS Bright Memory Infinite is coming to Switch. So if you remember back in 2020, I think it was the May Xbox Game Showcase where they kind of like really showed some Series X stuff. I think that was when they announced Fable. This game was there and it looked really good. It's this really high octane FPS game being developed by, I believe, one person at FYQD Studio and published by Playism. It's a really fast-paced first-person shooter where you have your gun and a sword, and it's awesome. I played the demo on PC back then, and it was a lot of fun. Really visually impressive game, and it is coming to Switch later this year. Now, normally with this show, I'm not going to cover every little indie game like this. However, I just wanted to mention this because, once again, it kind of goes with Xbox and 2. It just really blew me away from that demo I played a few years back, so I wanted to give it a shout-out. Bright Memory Infinite, go check it out. All right, last Xbox-related news story. Actually, I think I said that for the last one, but here we have the actual last Xbox news story. So at Summer Games Fest, the Jeff Keighley kickoff event, they showed Cuphead: The Delicious Last Course. And then after that, we started getting interviews from Studio MDHR, and we actually found out that the DLC will be priced at $8 and will be 3 to 4 hours long. I just wanted to mention this. That is crazy. This DLC has been in development for 4 years. Actually, yeah, over 4 years now. And it is $8 and is 3 to 4 hours long. It's really funny. I think the studio director at Studio MDHR put out a quote. He was asked in an interview, like, you know, what do you think of the delay? Why is it taking so long? And he straight up just replied, dude, who cares? You'll get it when it's done. And I really respect that moxie. However, it is kind of hilarious that it's taken this long. I mean, I'm sure the DLC is going to be amazing. Cuphead. People love Cuphead. And of course, they did the Cuphead show. So, yeah, Cuphead Delicious Last Course coming out on June 30th of this month. So, coming soon. If you want to play it, of course, 3 to 4 hours, $8, really cheap. More Cuphead's a good thing, in my opinion. All right, now I want to talk about something else related to Xbox, I guess. At the Xbox and Bethesda Game Showcase, Atlus showed up in a big way with the announcements of Persona 3 Portable, Persona 4 Golden, and Persona 5 Royal all coming to Xbox. And then it was later announced that those games would be coming to PS4 and PS5, as well as Steam. Where is the Switch version, Atlus? I swear to God. If these games do not come to Switch, I don't even care. I'm going to buy them on PS5. I'm good. But you are leaving so much money on the table if these Persona ports do not come to the Switch. And people are saying it's done. It's that deal. You know, they're coming to Xbox. It wasn't announced for Switch. It's done. I don't think that we can rule it out yet. I think we can rule it out after the next Nintendo Direct. So we'll find out on June 29th if that rumor is true. If Atlus is just actually crazy because this does seem like something that Nintendo would maybe actually ask them to hold off for a Nintendo Direct. That's a huge direct announcement. People have been begging for Persona to be on Switch. The question will be, is it going to be all three? Obviously, 3 Portable and 4 Golden seem straightforward enough. And to be fair, Persona 5 Royal also should be a very straightforward task of putting on the Switch. It is a PS4 game after all, so PS4 games usually, yeah, it takes a little bit of grunt work, but not too much. Dragon Quest 12, or 11, I should say, Witcher 3, Doom. I mean, you can do it, and Persona's not a demanding game. So we should be seeing all 3 of them at that next Direct. If we don't, oh my goodness, the outrage is going to be hilarious, because that would definitely confirm that they're not doing it for at least the foreseeable future. Although at least we're finally past the point of people saying, like, oh, Sony pays for exclusivity. No. No, Atlus is just insane. It's the same thing with Soul Hackers 2 coming out on PlayStation and Xbox and not Switch. Like, dude, you're killing your own game. So I really hope at the Direct we see Persona get announced for Switch, because otherwise the discourse on Twitter and in forums is going to be bad. It's going to be really bad that day. So yeah, I just wanted to mention that. Keep an eye out for Persona on Switch. I would be shocked if it doesn't happen, but also knowing Atlus, who knows, man? It really could go either way. All right, on June 13th, Capcom actually hosted their own showcase. I mentioned this last week when they announced it. For Nintendo fans, there's not much here. I will say that. They went over a bunch of Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak stuff. Gore Magala from Monster Hunter 4 is coming back. That's cool. There's a demo out in the eShop now if you want to fight. I don't know if it's Gore Magala, but you can find a new monster in the demo for Sunbreak. That's available right now. And then, yeah, they announced free title update 1 and 2 coming in fall, then 3 and 4 in 2023. So, lots of support for Monster Hunter Rise, Sunbreak, cool to see. And then in that same presentation, of course, they covered all the Resident Evil stuff, which doesn't pertain to Nintendo, sadly. I was hoping they would announce some sort of port or something of like 8. That would be awesome to see. But they did announce in that presentation that on June 16th, they were gonna hold a Dragon's Dogma 2 live stream celebrating the 10th anniversary. And everybody knew immediately, like, okay, this is gonna be Dragon's Dogma 2. And lo and behold, it was Dragon's Dogma 2. Now, they didn't announce platforms. You're probably even wondering why I'm even mentioning this. Dragon's Dogma is on Switch. The first game, Dark Arisen, is on Switch. However, I don't think this game will come to Switch, but they didn't announce platforms, so maybe a cloud version, maybe something. We know nothing about it. We just know it's in development, so maybe Switch 2 by the time it comes out. If it comes out that late, I would assume it's a 2024 game, probably. But yeah, we'll see about Dragon's Dogma 2. It was announced. It is in development, so technically the franchise does have a history on Nintendo now, so we'll see how that goes. And then final 2 news stories here, little news stories here. Technically not a Nintendo story, but I think the Nintendo audience it kind of pertains to. Octopath Traveler Champions of the Continent is finally coming to the West this summer, so you can pre-register for it now on iOS and Android. This is just a straight-up spin-off sequel type thing to Octopath Traveler, which of course was a Nintendo Switch exclusive at launch. Cool to see it finally coming to the West. I think it came out last year in Japan. From what I've seen of the game, it actually looks pretty good. So cool to see it come into the West. I would love to see this on Switch. Just put it on Switch. Like it's mobile. See, that's the thing. It's a mobile game. The Switch is a mobile device, so it's fine. It's fine to have that. That's why I want that Final Fantasy VII Ever Crisis to come to Switch also. That'd be awesome. We have Final Fantasy 15 Pocket Edition, Square Enix, so just give us this too. Give us all these mobile games. Give us that Final Fantasy VII Battle Royale. Screw it. Just do it. Why not? You know. And then the final thing, as we like to end the week on the Nintendo Switch eShop Top 5. Of course, this was the week ending on June 11th, so it is a little bit behind. But the top 5 games were this week: Stardew Valley at number 5, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe at number 4, Minecraft at number 3, Nintendo Switch Sports at number 2, and then Mario Strikers Battle League has finally taken that number 1 spot. So, yeah, I always just like to check in, see how games are doing. I was looking on the eShop, though, today. Obviously, it's like kind of updated in real time, I believe. It's always funny seeing like the download only stuff because obviously publishers are manipulating sales to get stuff up there. There was this really crunchy looking The Forest clone on there. I was like number 4 and it was $25 and I was like, I wonder if this game was on sale. Lo and behold, it was on sale. So there you guys have it. That is going to wrap up this week's Nintendo Wrap episode. Let me know. I don't think I missed anything, but this week was a heavy week for third-party announcements, so I might have missed something or kind of glossed over something I shouldn't have. So let me know down in the comments below. If not, what is your favorite story from this week? Mine personally has to be, well, obviously all the Fire Emblem leaks. That's what I'm itching for. And then of course Final Fantasy VII Crisis Core is coming to Switch. Seems to be a full remake, even though they're calling it a remaster. That is awesome. So, really excited to see where this goes. Square Enix's support recently has been awesome. I might do a video on that. Let me know if you want to see that. But yeah, thank you all so much for watching. Peace.